Hi, I'm Mark Stephenson. I'm the Director of Disability Concerns for the Christian Reformed Church in North America. And I'm talking with Dori Dykstra, who is the Church and Volunteer Associate for the Christian Reformed Church Disability Concerns Ministry. She's been doing it for 3.5 years and has had a lot of experience contacting churches. So I think, Dori, you've talked to over 700 churches so far, right?
Right.
Okay,
That
so
seems hard to believe.
I know. So you've had a lot of experience with that, and we'd like to be able to have you share that experience with folks who are engaged in contacting churches, because for some folks it's brand new. For other people, they may have done it a little bit but aren't quite sure about how to do it. So we're thinking about disability advocates who are responsible for groups of churches. And sometimes that work can be exciting and they feel very motivated, but there can be challenges with it, and it can sometimes feel sort of lonely. So what do you do as you are getting ready to start contacting a church? What goes on inside that's your motivation? What is it that why is it that you do what you do?
Well, I always have to stop and think about the real reason that we want to help one another and encourage one another. And it really goes down to a verse that I learned many years ago, which I think about always in every day, practically. I think about Romans 12, verse 5, and that's we belong to each other, and each of us needs all the others. And when I think about that verse, I think about it all talks about relationships. And when we're working with churches, we're working with relationships, we're working with building community. And what does that look like? So thinking that our purpose is to belong to each other, part of that means how do we do that? And a relationship takes a lot of different ways to go about it, but the most reliable way is by talking and listening to one another, and by doing that repeatedly. Mm-hmm. So that motivates me to want to get on that phone and talk to someone in that church about building relationships in that church, building community, and encouraging everyone to serve and to belong.
So what you have going on in the back of your mind is, I'm connecting with people and I'm excited about that, and I want to make sure that these connections happen well between me and the person I'll be talking to, but also building relationships there at the church.
Exactly, because not only are we looking for how they can do that, we really are building relationships with one another through that phone call or through that email. We're telling each other we care about each other, we care about the ministry that's happening, we want to be a part of it together.